leaked the play before it hit the headset. Why are two front offices quietly rerunning the same scenario on their cap sheets tonight? And what move, if timed exactly right, would force every coordinator on our schedule to tear up Monday's third down menu? This isn't message board fog. It's the kind of idea that makes a division race blink. Window tight. Stakes high. Eyes up. Here's the promise. Before any names, I'll break the why, the when, the how, and the price. We're talking deadline timing, a contract that doesn't choke 2026, a package that respects value without mortgaging tomorrow, and the snap-by-snap plan that turns December football into 4 clean first downs a game. No fairy tales. Just football logic and front office calculus. You're watching Lions News Fan Report. Tap subscribe, drop a like, and hit the bell so you're inside the window while everyone else waits for official. It costs nothing, and it keeps this community a step ahead. All right, let's go to work. Start with identity. The best version of Detroit is blunt and inevitable. Rush with teeth, coverage with rules, and an offense that wins early downs so the playbook stays wide. To get there week after week, you need corners who erase space, steal half seconds, and transform 3rd and 6 into a punt without drama. Our room has dogs. But in this league, a 2-week injury swing, a schedule kink, or a matchup from hell can put you one body short. Championship teams treat that gap like a 4 alarm, not a maybe. Now the clock. The trade window punishes hesitation. Act 1 game early and you set January up. Wait 1 game late and you shop from a picked-over shelf. Weather comes, grass slows, quarterbacks feel different and win. And offenses lean on quick game that dies if your outside leverage is wrong by an inch. If you're serious about seeding, you buy small edges that compound press that travels, length that interrupts timing, speed that turns a maybe target into a no-fly sign. Money next. A responsible move protects 2025 premium picks and keeps the cap breathable. You're looking for a player on a rookie deal or similarly team-friendly arc. Someone whose age curve matches the room and whose next contract conversation you control from strength. Translation. Structure with escalators, refuse panic premiums, and never touch your core for a mid-season pivot. Grown-up business. Scheme fit isn't optional. It's the thesis. Detroit plays coverage that demands corners who can press without panic, bail with patience, turn and run with real long speed, and trigger on outbreakers without losing their balance. Add in our pressure looks, and you need a corner who can live on an island without losing the plot when the ball takes a beat. Length helps at the catch point. Ball skills turn good series into takeaways. Confidence makes the rest stick on cold days. There's also history to respect. This staff values traits they've seen up close. Guys who live Senior Bowl caliber installs. Prospects who play like pros on Tuesday and not just on Sunday. If you've stood across from our coaches and matched eyes and drill lines, that file stays on someone's desk. Familiarity isn't everything, but it trims risk when you parachute a starter into a playoff chase. One last layer before we flip the card. The seller. Proud teams don't hold yard sales. They ask what the room looks like today, what the cap looks like in 12 months, and whether their depth and scheme can survive a shuffle if the pick compensation tells a clear story. That's why the structure matters as much as the headline. Both sides need to keep dignity while admitting the league is a business. 10th paragraph. No more silhouettes. Lights on. The name on Detroit's whiteboard is Riq Woolen. Riq Woolen of the Seattle Seahawks. Why him? Start with the prototype. 6 feet 4 inches frame, wingspan for days, and legit sub 4.3 juice that erases bad leverage and shrinks windows on outbreakers. Press. He can choke releases and still stay patient enough not to grab. Off. He can bail from square and close without panicking his hips. Ball in the air. He plays through hands like a wideout who got lost and decided to play quarterback. That cocktail matters in our division, where you face big frames on the boundary and coordinators who spam speedouts until you say, Uncle. Fit in Detroit's menu is immediate. On early downs, you can align Riq into the boundary, press with inside leverage, and free your safety to cheat toward the post. On third down, you can spin late show too high, rotate to 3, and trust that his length buys your rush that extra half second. In the red zone, his frame turns fade balls from coin flips into ugly incompletions, and his speed lets you play trail on crossers without getting rubbed to death. He widens the playbook without changing the language dot. So what's a grown-up offer that isn't fantasy league nonsense? Something like this? A 2026 third-round pick that escalates to a second if Woolen hits snap thresholds and Detroit makes the postseason. Plus a 2027 late conditional tied to team pass defense, EPA, or takeaways. No core player outbound. No 2025 premium picks touched. You're buying a rare physical profile on a digestible number and paying more only if it tilts the field the way you believe it will. Dot cap and contract dynamics keep this tidy. On a rookie scale arc, Woolen doesn't distort your locker room or your ledger. You keep extension optionality. If the marriage sings, you talk early from a place of mutual leverage. If it needs time, you hold his rights and let the tape decide. Either way, the move respects the veteran corners in the room by making the competition about performance, not politics. Now the human part. You don't parachute a new corner into a winning building and hand him a crown. You set the room day one, roles, matchups, communication rules, and how we want to play bunch stacks and switch releases. You put him in reps against your best every Wednesday and let the practice feel right the depth chart. That approach keeps egos in check, raises Tuesday's temperature, and makes Sunday language feel simple. Matchups. This is where it flips games. Against boundary bully ball, his length turns back shoulder spam into hand fights you can win. Against slot to boundary speed outs, his drive from bail punishes lazy arm talent. Against deep crossers, his long speed lets you stay in trail and trust the middle field help to cap it. And when offenses try to isolate with motion stacks, his patience keeps you out of the flags that give first downs. Small edges multiplied across 60 snaps become winning math. Risks exist. Corner is a rhythm position. Midseason transitions can wobble technique. You manage it with smart calls early, more press bail than grabby press while the footwork sinks. More vision zone in 3x1 until the communication sings. There's also price drift. If two other teams lose corners next week, conditions climb. And you respect the human reality. New city, new verbiage, new expectations. That's where leadership and clarity matter more than slogans. What about Seattle's perspective? They love length and speed. They build an identity on it. If they're in the thick of it, they'll hang up and keep their guy. If their room is deeper than the outside believes, or if they're rebalancing how they allocate resources, they might at least pick up the phone for a structure that pays if the player hits here. You don't bully proud franchises. You offer solutions and let the calendar do the talking. Timeline is a 2-minute drill. You make the exploratory call, language only, then the framework call, conditions and thresholds, then the real call if Sundays align. You do it without theater. If the answer is circle back after the weekend, you stay ready. If it's no, you learn the price of length and speed in this market. Information has value even when the trade doesn't happen. And if it does, Monday's installed changes. Cloud rules get tighter because you can trust the corner to squeeze the 7 route. Pressure packages get bolder because you can live in single high without clenching. Your safeties stop playing firefighter and start playing chess. Suddenly that 1 3rd and 8 that's haunted the cut-ups becomes a punt at midfield. Instead of points on your neck. Zoom out to January. Playoff games turn on a fingertip at the catch point and a heartbeat of pass rush time. A corner with real length and top-end speed buys you both. He steals a back shoulder on the sideline, and he makes a quarterback hitch 1 extra time on a deep out. That's a possession flipped. Stack 2 of those in cold weather, and you're not in the hunt. You're dictating who flies to Detroit and who stays home. Lions fans, your turn. If the package is a conditional day 2 pick that escalates only with snaps. Production and postseason play, do you pull the trigger on Riq Woolen? How would you deploy him boundary clamp, travel with a type, or stay left-right to keep the communication clean? Which offense on our schedule does this break first? Drop your plan below. I'm reading everything. My personal opinion. The fit is obvious. The structure is responsible if you hold your 2025 premiums. And the upside in tight, ugly January football makes the exploration worth it. But let's be clear, this is a scenario mapped with logic, not an announcement. It's speculation.